Sawadee and welcome to another episode here for the Funky Pod, Mindful Media and Communication. I'm stuttering, and if you're watching this video format of the podcast, you can also see me with this thing around my neck. It's a sick episode here for the Funky Pod. The flu got to me, but hey, still getting out those episodes for you because, well, it just happened. The main event of the sports year, the event that all of the universe, at least the American universe, has been waiting for, just happened. The Super Bowl. So hey, let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about the Super Bowl from, of course, again, as always, media and communications point of view. If you like to read things, I also wrote an article on that in my LinkedIn newsletter. I called it 5280 Omaha, the Super Bowl's play on communication and media tactics. It's on LinkedIn right now. Check it out if you want to. But here, like a few more thoughts in regards to the Super Bowl, communication, media, and so on. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I'll try. You know me. Usually, I try to be sarcastic and whatnot, and it might shine through again a little bit, but because I'm sick, I didn't have the mental capacity to prepare lots of puns this time around, so apologies for not having as many puns as usual. Okay, so let's jump right into it, right? Again, like I said, the event that the universe, according to American sports media, has been waiting for. The Super Bowl of Super Bowls basically just happened, and congratulations. The devil won again. Kansas City Chiefs in what was like a very Mahomes way to do it, but also a very 49ers way to lose it. Congratulations to the dynasty now. All of America hates you, but congratulations to the Swift-Kelsey family, obviously. And now, hey, at least now we can all pretend, or we can stop pretending to care about football for another year. Nice. So we can all just go back to our normal lives and don't give an F about football anymore. Okay, cool. Just like we all do usually. Because the amount of football fans in my feed these days is ridiculous. I must say 80% of you people that popped up in my feed haven't watched a single football game in its entirety in your whole life. Just saying. Okay. But hey, let's not hate those new football fans that are all on there because they love Taylor Swift. Let's jump into actually analyzing the Super Bowl, okay? Okay. So, the Super Bowl, right? It's like the one day of the year when Americans decide that watching like a 7 hour broadcast for 11 minutes of actual playing time is a very reasonable exchange, right? It's a day when hardcore fans and those who think a touchdown involves like an airplane, when they come together, right? The Swifties and the actual football fans, united by snacks and of course the shared experience of screaming at inanimate objects, right? And what's not to love about it, right? It's an event that gloriously celebrates access in every form. Sports, entertainment, and let's not forget, most importantly, advertising. Okay? So the game itself, right? I think if you look at it, it's kind of like this exercise in national unity. At least on the surface. But is it really that? Yeah, because at its heart, the Super Bowl isn't just a game. It's like this annual pilgrimage, if you will, for the American, not only Americans, but you know what I'm saying, mostly, right? Like the American soul. Like it's a time when millions gather around the modern altars, like flat screens, right, Doug Heffernan, to worship at the temple of commercialized athleticism. That's what I want to call it. Okay, so here the battle on the field is matched only by the battle in the kitchen over the last slice of pizza, for example, right? It's where heroes are made, legends are born, hey Patrick Mahomes, and the collective American spirit is either elevated by victory or sunk by defeat, and all within the confines of those 4 quarters that somehow stretch into an eternity. I feel I could have given that speech in any given Sunday too, right? However, now for all its grandeur, right, for the actual football playing is but a fraction of the event, right? It's the pauses, the replays, the strategic timeouts, and yes, also the ads that fill the airtime that make us wonder if we're here for the sport or the spectacle. It's a day when even like the most clueless about football can they can scream their lungs out at like missed passes with like sounding like a seasoned coach, if you will, like proving that if nothing else, the Super Bowl is a masterclass in instant expertise. Yeah, all of you who haven't watched football in forever, you just watch it for the Super Bowl, you're all yelling at Purdy for like getting like almost intercepted, for example, for not making the right calls. Instant expertise, right? Awesome. And now if you look at what's around the game, right? So for example, if you're looking at like what's around the game, the pre-game hype, for example, right? It's more than just warm up. Yeah, before even the first whistle blows, like the Super Bowl's pre-game show is like an entity unto itself, if you will. Like featuring like a lineup that could headline like a diverse music festival. Yeah, this year the NFL decided that like mere mortals like Reba McEntire, apologies, Post Malone, and Andra Day should grace us with the renditions of like patriotic anthems. Like McEntire's national anthem is poised to was poised to remind everyone of like the heartland spirit. Yeah, inspiring like even the most like urbanites amongst the audience to consider like a cowboy hat as like a viable fashion choice, right? Yeah, but to be fair, it was very heartfelt. Like then Post Malone with like America the Beautiful. You thought it would be like a modern twist, which it was somewhat, but still like very country, right? If you watched it. And yeah, another moment of unity that makes everyone briefly forget the impending doom of like double dipping at the snack table and just cheering for different teams, right? And then of course, like Andra Day was also on the schedule, and this is just a very clever move by the NFL, ensuring that every musical taste is catered to, right? From those who wear their patriotism on their sleeve to those who prefer their Americana with like a side of introspection, rather. So smart. And then, of course, the main part of the night, the halftime show, where musicians, you would think, would play second fiddle to the athletes, but let's be honest, Usher. So, the halftime show, right? I've seen like now online comments from worst halftime show ever to one of the best ever. Make of that what you will, but the halftime show always is like it's a 30-minute concert that like magically transforms football fans into like pop aficionados, if you will, right? This year it was Usher. Why? Because it's Usher, but of course the NFL want to remind us I think the good old days of the early 2000s, right? All of the big Usher hits were like from the early 2000s, and he brought on Alicia Keys. Can't say nothing bad about Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys, my forever celebrity crush. She can do whatever she wants to, and I'm just gonna melt away, looking at her, listening to this beautiful voice, and being, If I ain't got you, Alicia, if I ain't got you. But he brought out all the other stars too, like even Ludacris was there, and it was just. I understand those who say like it wasn't the best musical performance or the best singing performance, but you're not there for a real musical concert. You're there for like the event, and as an event for people my age, right, which is probably the people that can afford the tickets to go to the Super Bowl are probably my age and older. They probably enjoy that. Right? That's probably the target audience. So know your audience. So, yeah. But also all the. I was about to say Bahoo. Is that a thing in English? All the hype around Usher, right? And Apple Music with like the "Where's Usher" commercials before, like oh my God, we lost Usher. We have to find Usher. It was smart. It was advertising. It was content. made complete sense to do that. Whether or not we like it or not, the tohu wabohu about it is a different thing to discuss. And then, of course, well, Tiesto, right? Because obviously football needed more EDM. What says football better than Tiesto? Yeah, what to say? You try to appease every target audience, I get it. So this might have been the most innovative or bewildering, depending on your point of view choice. Pairing EDM with like the grunt of like tackles, it's a juxtaposition, but might have worked, I don't know. Or maybe half the audience was just wondering like if they went into the wrong venue and they usually only hear those sounds in like the Vegas parties that they usually go to. Interesting choice. Again, NFL trying to appeal to every single possible target audience out there. And then, of course, all the ads, right? Moving to the commercials. It's, let's be honest, the not-so-secret main event of the Super Bowl. And it's where brands go to battle, armed with celebrities, special effects, and sometimes a coherent message. Those ads obviously less about the products and more about who can create the most like memorable mini narrative that will like dominate Mondays or maybe Tuesdays, because who's working on a Monday after? Like water cooler talk, right? So it's capitalism. It's capitalism's own variety show, so to speak. A mix of like sentimentality, usually slapstick, and then the occasionally like existential crisis over whether you really need that new gadget or not. And this year, of course, like there was an array of commercials that might have left you laughing, crying, questioning life choices. Often like all three of those things within the span of just a minute, because airtime is expensive when it comes to Super Bowl commercials. And it's a testament to the power of marketing, like proving that with enough creativity and budget, even the most like mundane product can be transformed into like the hero of its own epic tale. Look at Bud Light, for example. And of course, lots of celebrity cameos too, right? Like the Super Bowl is the Oscars. How do I say that? The Super Bowl is like the Oscars red carpet of the sports world, if you will, right? Where celebrity sightings are just part of the spectacle. And to be fair, or to be honest, one celebrity stood out. Obviously, right? So this year the buzz around Taylor, obviously, and like Travis Kelce added the extra layer of intrigue, if you will. It turned like the event into a live episode of TMC. Like Travis Kelce had a great run. Like he caught a pass and then he ran to the left side, I think. Like it was a great run, probably the best run of the season for him. And within seconds they cut to Taylor Swift, or like the game-winning touchdown. Or you saw Mahomes jumping into the arms of the dude that caught the touchdown, and then they cut right to Taylor Swift. Like, what? Why don't you show the players celebrating? But okay, from a marketing point of view, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant ploy because you ensure that viewers are glued not just for the touchdowns, but of course also for the off chance of catching like the sideline reaction. Like they show Taylor Swift like chucking down like a drink, right? Presumably beer. Why? I mean, I know why, but angry at it because I want to see the sport. Completely understand why. Whew. So if you look at and I always try this even, so I'm sick today, but I try it again. If you look at a few media theories and media and communication theories at play here, okay? So if you listen to episodes before, you know that I try to explain a few here. So the Super Bowl, to me, is like a living, breathing case study in using gratification, okay? It satisfies like the diverse needs of the audience, from the primal urge to belong to a tribe, like in groups, right, in and out groups. You belong to a team like go Chiefs, go 49ers, or F the Chiefs, I don't care who wins, but F the Chiefs, for example, right? So cheering for a team, like group communication, in-group, out-group, and so on, is a very basic need for humans, okay? So it could also be like the desire for entertainment, though, like the halftime show, for example, like taking you out of your everyday struggle and just enjoy it for a little bit, okay? The need for a good narrative, like the commercials, celebrity sightings, and so on, okay? It's a testament to how media can like serve multiple purposes, from information to emotional release. Okay, and moreover, I think the event is also a masterclass in, and it's a new theory, elaboration likelihood model. Let me explain. So the ELM, we talked about this I think only once before in a podcast, like of persuasion, right? Particularly, I think evident in this case in the commercials. So these ads, they cleverly navigate between the central route, like providing logical arguments as to why you need that beer in your life, for example, and like the peripheral route, okay, which is more about like creating positive associations through humor, celebrities, and heartwarming stories. The Bud Light in that commercial that I mentioned earlier tries it very well, for example, or like very obviously, but it probably still works. You can also see that like the event is a demonstration of the spiral of silence theory in action. Like those whose teams are losing, or like who couldn't really care less about football, might find themselves like quietly nodding along, like yeah, sure, Travis Kelce, yeah, sure, along to like avoid being like the odd person out in like a room full of like enthusiasts, for example. Could also be like a virtual room on X, for example, right? And lastly, before my voice completely leaves me, we can also look into the cultivation theory, actually, because the cultivation theory in this case would suggest that the Super Bowl, with like its grandiose display of American, in this case like American, I mean like as the typical American stereotypical like melting pot, okay, the typical American culture, like that's the Super Bowl. It's like American culture, right, and encompassed, and it might just shape our perceptions of reality, like between like the hyper commercialism, I want to call it, the glorification of athleticism, and this seamless integration of entertainment. This whole event, Super Bowl, like that cultivates like this very unique narrative, one that's as compelling, I believe, as it is critique worthy, in my opinion. So if you're honest, the whole Super Bowl thing is like an unabashed celebration of everything and nothing. Because in wrapping up this episode, because my voice is leaving, Super Bowl 58, in this case, wasn't just a game. It never was, never just will be. It's like Super Bowl is a cultural juggernaut that manages to be like both a mirror and like a milieu, if you will, of modern society. Like it's where sports, music, and marketing collide in a celebration of excess, unity, somewhat. The only time Americans are united is during the national anthem, probably, and the art of the spectacle. And people, we like spectacle. We like to watch spectacles. Check out Society of the Spectacle Theory. Maybe once my voice is back to normal and I'm not sick anymore, I do an episode on that. Yeah, so whether you're there for football, the halftime show, the ads, or like me, just the snacks, one thing is clear, like the Super Bowl remains one of the few events that can like command the attention of a nation divided by everything else. And if only for a few hours. And for that, you gotta applaud the Super Bowl. Okay? So, let me know what you think. I mean, they also try this on a global scale now, of course. And I mean, as you know, I'm not American and I still talk about it. So, good job there, Super Bowl. So let me know what you think about the Super Bowl. Like, before I start coughing again more, do you think... What did you think about the Super Bowl? I have to wrap it up now because my voice is almost gone. So what do you think about the Super Bowl? Do you appreciate the whole event? Do you think it's too much Taylor Swift, too much too much drama around or like stories around, and I just want to see the sports. Or what's your opinion on all of that? Let me know. Did the right team win? No, they did not. Let me know what you think about that. And as always, if you enjoyed this sick episode, like, share, subscribe, leave a review. It would be fantastic. It really helps the show to reach like a wider audience, and we can have bigger discussions. That's always very much appreciated. Until then, take care, stay safe. Go for goal. Touchdown, go for touchdown. Go for everything. And we talk soon. Until then, Sawadee Cup.